Okay, so first of all, you want to introduce yourself?
My name is Pandit Jita Sangvaro.
And so let me move it here. And then, can I have your permission to use this video?
You are free to use this video any way you want.
Thank you. Okay, so our students are doing a project on plastic pollution, and we would really like your opinion as to whether you feel that the plastic we use in Thailand and how we use it is a problem for us.
Sure, plastic, you have plastic bags, and interestingly the laws are more lax in Thailand than in many other countries, so you can actually use banana leaves and natural products to wrap and present and plate products. That's part of the Thai culture. And they have switched to plastic just for convenience, but according to the law and according to the culture, you can use natural leaves, especially banana leaves, on this kind of products. The other big problem is plastic bottles, because the drinking water from the taps in Thailand is not fit for human consumption, so everybody drinks water from bottles. And especially in large organizations, you have thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of these plastic bottles used once and throw away.
Yeah. And I mean, what would you say, what would be the Buddhist perspective? I mean, Buddhists seem to me to have a very strong environmental ethic.
It's much the case that environmentalists tend to like Buddhism rather than the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
But there was some clauses given to the monks in the Vinaya, which is the code of conduct for monks, that says we should be very careful about the things that we use, and especially when we are accepting and receiving things from lay people, we should use them responsibly. For example, the cloth, and in the old days, of course, cloth was very difficult to make and very time consuming. So there was a story of the monk's former main assistant, and he would sew the cloths up and then bleach them and dye them and use them, and when they could no longer be used for a robe, he would use them as a towel, and when they couldn't be used as a towel, he would use them as a face cloth. When he couldn't use them as a face cloth, he would use them as a itch cloth until the whole thing was completely finished. So we do have, it's not really a Buddhist principle, but it was a principle that was given to the monks to be very careful with the things that we are given to use.
Yeah. And what would you see as solutions to what's really our overconsumption?
We have to learn to stop using throwaway items. So things need to be packaged in organic packages or degradable packages. And we need to get used to buying a good, solid, proper plastic cup, and then getting our water from water tanks.
Yeah.
Having plastic containers, and we fill up with our detergents and our washing up liquids, rather than always just buying a new bottle to throw away. Even a can of Coca-Cola, it's utterly ridiculous that 50 grams of aluminium have been mined and brought up and manufactured and purified and are thrown away for the price of a guzzle of liquid. So we have to change that.
Well, I'm going back to what you said about in the teachings or in some guidance that the not accepting things that have been made, like for monks not to accept. I can't remember exactly how you phrased it. There was something you said about
just now.
Yeah, about not accepting things.
Not accepting things, but the things that we do accept, we're supposed to be very careful with and look after properly.
Ah, I see. Because when you take, like when you go on rounds
Mind your fingers.
Yeah, thank you. Block the camera, would be terrible. You have to accept what's given, right? So
you don't have to accept what's given exactly. No, we can.
Okay.
There are certain things we're not allowed to accept. Uncooked grains and rice, and the meat of snakes and bears and human beings and things like this. So, there are some things that we're not allowed to accept. But just accepting doesn't mean that you have to use that particular thing. So people can give you what they like, but you may or may not use them.
Mm. But I mean, how could you change people's behavior around that, or how could you, as a monk, encourage people to donate things without using plastic or without using poor grade kind of plastic?
I don't think we could, but if you're asking how as monastic organisations, very large monasteries and monastic groups and meditation groups, if those institutions, just like any institution, if they decide to not use plastic, they can make that decision.
Mm.
So, for example, the monks have a university, and there's tens of thousands of plastic bottles used daily, and that just get thrown away. So, if the university made a policy, we're not going to use the plastic bottles, then they could implement that. It's not really a Buddhist thing per se. That is true of any university.
Yeah.
No more and no less for the monks.
Yeah.
Same for the monasteries. It's not really a Buddhist quality, but if the abbot takes the lead and encourages the monastery to be free from plastic, then that will spread into society.
Okay. Well, you look exhausted, and I'm so grateful to you for spending a few minutes with our students and talking about this. So thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome.
Okay.